following program comes from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Every athlete is on this quest. Every performer dives in head first, battling real-life challenges and overcoming obstacles in an effort to make their dreams reality. Singer, songwriter, 15-year WWE host Lilian Garcia was the first woman to ever announce WrestleMania. And the first to launch her own podcast, which gives you an all-access pass to the human interest stories of elite athletes and extraordinary entertainers. Now, let's embark on another fascinating journey of chasing glory with your host, Lilian Garcia.
Hey, welcome everybody to Chasing Glory, another amazing episode heading your way. I hope everyone is having a great week and a great day. Like some of my friends always say, hey, make it a great day on purpose. I love that. Right? I love that. I started using that myself. So I hope that you're having a great day on purpose. Welcome to a place where you can get a lot of inspiration. Real, raw, inspiring. That is our theme here, where we go in deep. We find out amazing stories from our guests and how they're getting through life. And that way we can learn from each other. I want to thank you so much. If you are following me for the very first time and listening to the podcast, welcome. Welcome. If you've been a long-time listener, welcome back and thank you. All right. So guys, I have a really fun episode heading your way. Somebody that I didn't really know that much about. I'll tell you all about him coming up, but I want to thank you for following me at Lilian Garcia on Instagram and Twitter and Lilian Garcia official fan page. And for following the show on Instagram at Chasing Glory Podcast. Also on YouTube. You can follow us on youtube.com/Lilian Garcia. Just remember that Lilian is with one L in the middle. I know it's hard to get used to, but just get used to it. All right. And also we have the Chasing Glory app. So that makes it very easy. It's right on your phone. So just download the app and that way you'll see all the incredible episodes that have happened. And I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. I know I did. I needed it. I needed a little kick. Last week's episode was all about the mind, the body, the soul, wellness. And I really wanted to help everybody getting off to the right start in the new year, because you can have all the best intentions on January 1st. And then January 7th comes around and you're like, I had a few days that I messed up. And then January 14th comes and you're like, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go. And that's kind of what happened to me. I had all the best intentions on January 1st, but yeah, it didn't land so well. So let's just say that I really needed that episode and I got into gear listening to them and how to get us motivated. And that was Tori Wilson and Jay Ferrugia. Amazing experts and just incredible people doing incredible things in this world. So thank you. If you guys didn't hear the episode, make sure you go back and check it out. Had a lot of people writing in going, man, this was the game changer. And that's what we need, is just to, infuse ourselves with knowledge and people that are doing it every single day. So thank you for that. And right now I want to go ahead and read out the review of the week. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little something different in the new year. I'm going to pick a review of the week. Well, my team is, because I want to be fair and let them pick as to what's resonating. But I'm going to let my team pick a review of the week. Then I'll read it on the show. And then from that, once a month, we're going to pick a winner to then have a Chasing Glory package. You're going to have an 8x10 signed from me, and then you're going to get a free Chasing Glory t-shirt. How about that? I love that. So there's only going to be, it's going to be you against 4 other people, or let's say you against 3 other people. Yeah, because there's 4 weeks in a month. Duh. So it makes it very easy. But the way you enter is to leave your review on Apple Podcast under Chasing Glory. Just leave a review. Make sure you subscribe. And then from there, my team will choose a winner for the week. And then you'll get into a drawing for the end of the month. And then 1 out of the 4 will win the package. All right. Does that make sense? It made sense to me. I hope it made sense to you. Well, no matter what, there's going to be a winner. All right. So for this week, Let's see what they chose. They chose one that says, Xavier Phoenix 7. All right, you're in the drawing. Congratulations. Here is what he or she says. I don't normally review podcasts, but after listening to Mustafa Ali's podcast, I needed to voice my opinion. Lilian has an amazing ability to make her guest open up. They feel so comfortable talking to her that they can't help but go in depth about their lives and experiences. I have thoroughly enjoyed every single episode, and the Mustafa Ali one really touched me. I am not of Pakistani descent, but I felt this story. I felt the hate he felt growing up to the love and adoration he receives now. What an amazing man and an inspirational human being. Hearing his stories as a police officer and how he would de-escalate situations gave me hope that there are good and kind people out there. Mustafa Ali has earned and deserves the spotlight, and I hope he has a long, prosperous career. Thank you, Lilian, for diversifying your guest and giving your listeners a peek to so many great guests. Thank you so much, Xavier Phoenix 7. I love that review. And I do love Mustafa. I didn't know Mustafa very well because I had already left WWE when he came in. So when I saw him backstage, I was back there to catch some interviews. I was like, oh man, because seeing him in the ring, I've been so impressed. I was like, I want to get you to know you better. Hearing his story was crazy. Wow. Yes, I resonated with it as much as you guys did. And he was so happy. Let me just tell you, he texts me and he's just like, wow, I had no idea that my story would get this much response. So he thanked you guys profusely and just had a blast being on the show. And actually, my guest today, we speak about him. So anyway, thank you, Xavier Phoenix 7. You are now in the drawing. So remember, just go to Apple Podcasts, leave your reviews. My team will pick a winner, and then you'll get into the drawing. So it's that easy. You'll get the package, the 8x10, and also the Chasing Glory t-shirt. We have some t-shirts, by the way. It's so easy to find them. Just go on my website, and you will see what all of them are there, and you can be part of the CG squad. Spread the word. All right, so there is a question that I have for you. Are you guys at all suffering from pain, anxiety, seizures, arthritis, depression, epilepsy, inflammation? Okay, these are not fun words to say and definitely not a fun thing to feel. To feel? Did I sound my South Carolina just came out in there. To feel? I love that in South Carolina. I absolutely did. Anyway, but it is not fun, right? When you talk about all that. But if there's something that can actually help you, that is fun to know about. So that is why I want to let you guys know all about Cured Nutrition. It is a product that I've come to know more and more about. I've been using it. I absolutely love it. It has CBD in it. All right. So it's hemp-derived CBD. If you guys have heard about CBD, or if you haven't, let me just tell you, CBD is a game changer. It does come from hemp, and it is organic, and think about it like a vitamin, like a really, really powerful vitamin that helps you. They have full spectrum nibbles and tinctures and treats. As a matter of fact, I'm holding right here a package of the cured dough. This is chocolate chip, cookie dough. So good. So that way you can get this. It's not like you're just popping a pill. No, not at all. You can get this with the dough. You can also get it through spices. So I have all these things on my desk right now. They're so much fun. Yeah, spices that you can add to your food. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's see. They've got blackening seasoning. They have roasted garlic and lemon pepper. They have cinnamon and honey, peanut butter chocolate. I'll sprinkle that on everything, thank you. And smoky barbecue. I mean, these are just some of the seasonings that they have. They also have it, and a simple way to do this is to just put the hemp oil underneath your tongue. It's a dropper. You put it in there for like a minute and you just let it soak in. So all of this helps for symptoms of what I just said. Now, my dad, when he was passing away with cancer, he was in a lot of pain. And pain medication from the doctors were really making it worse. So I thought about this and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to give him some drops underneath his tongue. And that helped him a lot. So that's why I encourage this. That's why I talk about it. That's why I'm okay endorsing this, because I believe in CBD. I have seen what it has done. And now with my mom suffering from arthritis, I'm doing the same thing with her. And then with me, inflammation, anxiety, sometimes, I just need to calm down. There's a lot of things going on in my life and I want to conquer a lot, which is great. But it does make you have a little bit of anxiety from time to time. So a little calming down will not hurt. If you're worried about jumping through hoops to get your hands on your own cured nutrition products, you don't have to worry, because they ship anywhere in the 50 states. All right. So you can find your favorite products. Just go to curednutrition.com/glory. Check out all the products that they have there. That's Cured, CURED, nutrition, NUTRITION.com/glory. Make sure that you use the promo code GLORY for your 15% off. All right. Because we want you to save at the same time that you're getting help. And you can also get help with sleep. So it helps a lot of things. Check it out. curednutrition.com/glory. And then make sure that you use the promo code GLORY. All right. And then there's something else I want to tell you about. I'm going to tell you more about it in detail later on in the show, but I am excited to announce a brand new sponsor of Chasing Glory. And we love our sponsors because they actually bring you the show for free. And they are the ones that are seeking us out, which is great. They're coming on and they're saying, we love the show and we want to help bring this to the listeners for free. So remember, takecareof.com, as in take care of yourself. All right. It's a care of is the actual product, and it's a monthly subscription vitamin service. No more do you have to go to the store and try to figure out what you need for your body and what's good for you and which one to pick and yada, yada, yada. So like I said, I'm going to tell you all about it later on. But for now, just remember, go to takecareof.com and then make sure that you use the promo code. Check this out. It's Glory50, as in Glory 50. Why 50? Because right now, this month, you're going to get 50% off of your order by using the promo code Glory50. That is for all my listeners out there. We love you, so we want to pass on the savings to you. So just go to takecareof.com, and then I'll tell you all about the product in detail later on. You're going to love it. Okay, so what do you say? Let's get to the show. Buddy Murphy, Cruiserweight Champion. Yeah, that's right. He is leading 205 Live. You know what? Mustafa Ali gave me a little bit of more of a glimpse as to 205, as to what 205 Live is all about. He was my first guest from 205 Live, really opened up my eyes, even though I know, like Kalisto, I worked with Kalisto for a long, long time, and Cedric Alexander, I have not worked with him, but man, what a talent. So many talented wrestlers there. So anyway, he opened up my eyes, and then I was watching Buddy Murphy wrestling, and I'm like, wow, I really like this guy. Now, he has been had a relationship with Alexa Bliss. We talk all about that. So I did hear about Buddy through Alexa when I had Alexa on my show, but I really wanted to know more about Buddy. I know that he comes from down under in Australia. Horrible accent I just did. Sorry to all the Aussies out there. I wish I could do that accent. God, I love it. Anyway, so we really do dive in deep and talk about his tryout, things that he's never shared before. As he told me, he said, this is my first podcast. So welcome, Buddy, to your very, very first podcast. I'm so glad that Chasing Glory gets to be your first. And yeah, we do, like I said, talk about the relationship with Alexa Bliss and how he was down in the dumps. I mean, down when he lost the NXT Tag Team Championship and how he was able to get out of that. So let's do it. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is Buddy Murphy's journey of Chasing Glory. For Buddy Murphy, the journey to WWE began nearly 10,000 miles across the globe. Matthew Adams began his pro wrestling journey at the age of 18, training near his hometown of Melbourne, Australia, and would become a mainstay in some of the top promotions in the state of Victoria. After years of honing his craft on the Australian scene, he would pack his bags and travel from Melbourne to Tampa, Florida, to join nearly 85 other hopefuls at a 4-day WWE tryout, and by the end of their grueling camp, was offered a WWE contract where he joined the developmental territory NXT and was renamed Buddy Murphy. Murphy would join forces with fellow NXT superstar Wesley Blake, where they formed a tag team and had immediate chemistry. They would defeat the Lucha Dragons for the NXT Tag Team Championship, and Murphy made history by becoming the first Australian to win a championship in the WWE. With Alexa Bliss at their side, Blake, Murphy, and Bliss would become quite the treacherous trio and would dominate the tag team division in NXT for the better part of 2015, including a high-profile match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn against the Vaudevillains. After losing the tag team titles, Blake and Murphy would go their separate ways, and Buddy Murphy would be stuck in NXT purgatory, but stayed consistently active in the NXT live events, making sure that he would be prepared for any opportunity that would come his way, which eventually did. Murphy would adjust his body and lose nearly 25 pounds so that he could join the Cruiserweight division and become a fixture of 205 Live. For the next 6 months, he would face off against the top cruiserweights, proving that he was WWE's best-kept secret. His journey reached an all-time high, where at Super Showdown in his hometown of Melbourne, Australia, in front of over 70,000 fans, he defeated Cedric Alexander for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, making him the first Australian to ever win a WWE singles title. It's easy to see why you should never sleep on Melbourne's hidden gem. It's about to get real, raw, and inspiring with Buddy Murphy. Wow. All right. So I'm so excited for this interview because Buddy Murphy is in the house. And let me just tell you, you are making such a big splash already. Welcome to Chasing Glory. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
No. Thank you very much for having me. I've heard a lot of your podcasts. I heard Alexa Bliss's, I heard Mustafa Ali's, and it'd be cool to get my story out there. And whoever wants to listen to me speak and hear me speak.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I got to start this by saying I love Australia. I love Australia. I had the biggest dream forever to go to Australia. And of course, people think of Australia, they think of the Opera House in Sydney. And I know you're from Melbourne. But that I always had that in my vision. I got to go. And then I got hired by the WWE and they were like, all right, you're going to go to Australia for a tour. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, I'm so excited. So we get in around, I think it was like 2 a.m. and we were actually going to have the show the next day at 4. So we only had that day. Right. And I was like, okay, I got to make the most of this because I only have a few hours here. So I woke up, I had 2 hours sleep, woke up, got on a 7 a.m. bus ride, did the whole tour of Sydney. And then from there went to the Opera House and I was just blown away. And I'm like, I'm here. And then from there we went to Melbourne and I loved it.
Melbourne's everything. The best city,
Do you guys compete? Do you compete, you in Sydney?
Every state competes. It's just like here in America, everyone's the best, no matter where you're from. It's always if you're from Florida, Florida's the best. If you're from California, California's the best. It's the same over there, but I'm a little bit biased to Melbourne because I grew up there, my entire life. So, but it is beautiful there, and I think it still is the most voted livable city in the world. So,
oh wow,
there's a little fact for you.
There you go. What makes it so livable? What was life like there?
So I've been in America for 6 years now. So, it's I don't know. It's just like the people. It's very laid back. It's very fashionable. It's I'm a very relaxed person. Just Australians in general are very kind and outgoing. So and you fit in. We fit in anywhere. So the whole city's like that. So it's good.
Yeah.
I miss it. You made me want to go home.
I don't want to do that. But, I get it. And it's not even a knack against America, of course. But I get it. It's different because even when I came from Spain, it was so different. And so it's just a different culture that you end up missing it because it is something that you grew up, it's in your bones. What was school like for you?
School wasn't that good. So I started off at a Catholic primary school. So I did that from prep to grade 6. And then I had the opportunity to go to 2 schools. And I'm from the southeast suburbs of Melbourne. So it's about an hour outside of Melbourne. So it was an interesting situation. So I had 2 high schools I could choose. One was Berwick Secondary College, and one was St. Francis Xavier, which was another Catholic school. All my friends were going to go to the Catholic school because, we're Catholic primary school. So all my friends went there. My brother went there but got expelled because he kept getting in trouble. He went to the Berwick school. So my parents gave me the option, which one do I want to go to? And for some reason, I went to the school where I knew absolutely no one, only my brother, and left all my friends behind. So sometimes when I think about that, I kind of like, my whole life would have been completely different. And thinking back, why did I put myself in that position that I knew absolutely no one? Like I had a good set of friends. Yeah. And I just left it all and went to another, like a a public school rather than a private. Like in a way I kind of picked the worst one out of the lot, but it comes full circle. I'm here, I'm living my dream now. So it all worked out.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, you never know what that other choice would have been, but were you and your brother, he was older, right?
Yeah. He's 3 years older than me.
Okay. Were you guys really close?
We are close. Me and my sister were probably closer, and she's 3 years younger than me. So I'm the middle child. So me and my brother were close, but me and my sister were probably closer because we grew up together. So yeah. But it was we're very, very close.
So you don't know whether it was a choice of have you figured it out? Like whether it was a choice that maybe you just wanted because he was your brother?
I think
were you close at that time?
Yeah, because we played sports a lot, so we would go outside after school and we'd kick an Australian rules football around. Like that was like our after school kind of little thing that we did. But why I decided to go to that school is a decision that I don't think I'll ever really know the answer. Mm-hmm. But it's a decision that I'm happy that I made.
Why are you happy? Because I instantly hear something in that choice that has actually helped you. And I want to know if this, what I'm thinking is the same thing.
I think because I was always a fan of wrestling and that whole larger than life kind of situation, watching WWF at the time, I'm inspired by Stone Cold and The Rock and stuff. So I'm watching this every week. So I'm looking at these superheroes. I think I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to stand out on my own. That's how what I kind of think. And it conditioned me in a way to do stuff on my own and kind of get me ready for being alone on the road in a way, because we do everything by ourselves. So, maybe that was something, but it definitely helped me, I think. Yeah. As an adult, because going back as well, I'm a big mummy's boy. When I was in primary school, I wouldn't sleep over at any friend's house. I didn't go to any camps because I couldn't stay away from home. I just couldn't do it. One night away would drive me insane. And if I did stay at a friend's house, like we'd find an old bicycle. We're like, let's spray paint it. Let's make it brand new. It's going to be awesome. We'll have this project and this day, we'd spend so many hours on it. And they're like, oh yeah, let's stay at mine tonight and we'll do it tomorrow morning. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that again. And then I'd get to staying over and I couldn't sleep. And anything and everything, because it was just out of my comfort zone. Like, so when I was young, like, I had a great childhood. We had TVs, we had anything we wanted, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. We weren't a rich family by any means, but my parents definitely took care of the kids. But we had a TV. I slept with a TV on all night. So when I don't have a TV there and I'm listening to a clock just tick, it would drive me insane. Or a fish tank going. It just wasn't my environment. I just wasn't used to it. I didn't like it. I just like home's home. Like it was, and like having my parents there, and I was a big mummy's boy. Like when I was a baby, I would just hold onto her leg and I wouldn't let go.
Wow.
And I'd actually hide. We got family videos of me just hiding behind my mum's leg.
Wow.
So it was something that I always had. So even my parents thought, how are you going to go into this wrestling world if you can't stay away from home? Because I didn't go to a camp.
Wow. So even as you grew up and you decided that you actually wanted to be a wrestler, that was still an issue, that you just didn't want to leave home?
Yeah, it was just very like, what's going to happen? And then the wrestling passion was like so strong that it kind of overcame that whole thing, psychological problem maybe. Yeah. Because if I had to go to a show in South Australia, like obviously I can't, it's 15-hour drive. So I'm not coming back that same day. So I would have to stay the night. So, but wrestling made me overcome that as well. So like wrestling has a lot of things that probably should make me not like wrestling have made me a stronger person and made me adapt so I can wrestle. So interesting little things.
I understand.
Big mummy's boy, Buddy Murphy.
Who would have thought that? That's for sure. Now you started wrestling when you were 18. Is that right?
I went back when I was 18. I actually started when I was 13.
Wow. All right. So tell us about that. Now you're watching it on TV and you're absolutely loving it. Like, what's your first experience of seeing it on TV? Do you remember that?
Yeah. So my brother got home from school one day and I had no idea what it was. And he comes home and he goes, all the guys at school are telling me about this show. It's on 8:00 tonight. It's called WWF. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, oh, yes, just watch it. And like I said, we're close. So
yeah,
we had this sender, which was like this little box and it would send this like radio kind of connection to another receiver, which was in my parents' room, and would get this real bad picture. So we watched it and I hated it. Absolutely
really?
Hated it. I got about 20 minutes in. I'm like, what is this? We just turned it off or whatever. Went on with our lives completely. I just didn't understand it or anything. I just thought, what is this? This is boring. You just get those shows.
Okay.
Completely forgot about it. The next week he comes back and said, we have to watch that show again, like that we watched last week. Apparently last week was crap. We're going to do it again. Apparently this week's awesome. And I said, I'm not doing it. He goes, oh, come on. All right. So we watched it, hooked. Completely.
Really?
Yeah. And
all right. So what was the difference?
I don't know. Like Kane just absolutely got me. Like when just seeing this guy, just because my favorite color was red. So I'm seeing a guy with a mask just wearing red and he just rips off a door off the Hell in the Cell. I'm just like, whoa, like that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that's one of my biggest memories. And then like the whole Attitude Era was just amazing anyway. So they have all those moments, but Kane ripping the door off the cell was like a big moment where I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then kind of from there, I just kind of followed it and I had all the figures. I'd make my own wrestling rings out of wood.
Oh, wow.
Like it was pretty intense. And then one day this guy, when I first got to high school, my friend came up and he started training at some school locally, and I had no idea it even existed. Mm-hmm. So I talked my parents into letting me. They ended up bringing my mum with me to do this assessment. And we go there and I walk in, it's just this dungy old factory. It just smelled like cigarette smoke. I'm going in there like 13, 14 years old, like still mummy's boy with mum. And she ended up paying like a $400 like for 2 sessions, like as a enrollment fee. Yeah. And then I did a little assessment, and then once you did the assessment, you could move into a beginner's class and then all the classes. So I got past the assessment, but I remember the assessment was like just real simple. Like, these are the movements we're going to do on falling and stuff like that. And the biggest thing I just remember watching all these guys, overweight guys, just trying to pick up my mum. And I was like, what is going on? Like, but wrestling, I'm wrestling though. It didn't matter. I remember getting back in the car after my assessments. My mum thought it was the funniest thing ever, watching these old guys try to,
pick her up.
Trying to pick her up and think that they're the bee's knees, so to speak. Because she didn't understand the wrestling world, and she probably still doesn't today. But it was just very, very strange. So we did all that, and then I wrestled trained for about maybe 10 months to 12 months. 10 months to a year. And I just kind of realized I was just a kid that they beat up. There was, you know what I mean? I wasn't getting anything out of it. They weren't grooming me to be anything. They were there to make themselves feel bigger. I see. So
it's kind of like you were a jobber.
Yeah, but not even to the extent. I wasn't on shows. I was just at training, watching these guys just kind of push their weight around, and you know what I mean? Like, you can hit a little kid hard. Like, I don't know about that. Like, it wasn't something. So then there was a time where I was a big Jeff Hardy fan. So I ended up, my finisher was a swanton bomb. And I used to wear the camo pants with the wife beater, like the typical first wrestling attire. Yeah. And I went for the big swanton, and he moved, and I landed really high on my neck and hurt my neck. Oh, no. And the guy wasn't meant to move. So I really hurt my neck. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I stopped going.
How old were you then?
14, 15.
Maybe. That's a lot to go through at that age.
Well, yeah, it was just like, I had already kind of realized I was just getting beat up. There was, you know what I mean? Like, it was very strange. And then I ended up doing school and whatever like that, but still love wrestling and still had those fundamentals. So there was one of my best friends from kinder, one of my best friends to this day still, he went to a different school than me, and he was telling me about his friends, how they do these wrestling matches in the backyard. And he knew that I used to do the wrestling and loved the wrestling. He was a big wrestling fan. So then he started bringing their tapes that they would make. And like, they would do like thumbtack stuff. And my mate, Brian, he would be like, oh, would you do that? You could do that. I said, yeah, I could do that.
If Mick Foley can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, it was very strange. It was just like,
oh my God! Don't tell me you did it.
We did it. I did it, but it was very strange. It's like we literally believed that we were better than WWF. We thought our quality of backyard wrestling was better than the WWF. It was dang what we would do, and they kind of. It was so. It was called Narry Warren Wrestling, and I spoke to the guy that kind of ran it. He ran it at his house, so I guess he's the booker. Yeah. And one day it was a public holiday, so his parents were at work and they're running the show. It was kind of underground. His parents didn't know that he used to film wrestling tapes under the pergola in his backyard. Yeah. So what he did is he started selling tickets at his high school to people. Mm-hmm. Getting them to come. So it was this holiday, but he had already spoke to me, and he was like, oh, I'm going to keep you a big surprise, and we're going to hide you. So they hid me away from the other wrestlers and from the crowd. So I did this run in.
Oh my God.
Messed him up. And then we had like this triple threat main event, but there was like 40 people there. Like,
not bad.
But we're wrestling on a mattress. So, but back then, like, it wasn't like we had this cool little ring or anything. It was a mattress. It was a mattress on concrete. But we had like 40 people there. I did this debut. I was kept secret. We really put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And we thought we were good. We thought we were really good. Like we would make belts out of weightlifting belts. Like, you know, it's kind of like the Matt and Jeff story, you know, like Trampoline Wrestling Federation. But we had mattress, you know, Nari Warren Wrestling.
Start somewhere.
It does. But like I kept my fundamentals. Like I was still, you know, bumping the way I do today, like, but on a mattress. And then eventually, like I said, we thought our product was the best. So then we saw a local show and ended up being the same local company that I had originally trained at. So we're like, where we'll go to, you know, we walk in, we pay our $10. We're sitting there. We start watching this wrestling and we're like, you know, we're better than this. Like we walked in and the promoter at the time, the guy that continued to smoke cigarettes the entire time through my assessment, he was there still in charge of it. And he comes up to us. He goes, "You guys wrestlers?" He didn't remember who I was. I'm like, "Yeah, we're wrestlers."
Yeah,
absolutely, we are. He's, "Oh, you guys want to come?" So then he wanted to try and poach us, but we were wrestlers at Nari Warren Wrestling. We're backyard wrestling. He thought we worked for another company somewhere.
Got it.
So he goes, "Come down to an assessment." So we ended up, all right. So I ended up taking the guys and teaching them how to fall in the backyard the night before we did this assessment. So just so we could get through assessment, show them the right way so it looks like we're
pro.
Oh, we know what we're doing.
Right.
So we end up, there's like 4 of us. We end up going in, we end up doing this assessment for like an hour or 2. He sees how we can all fall. Okay, what are you guys doing tomorrow? Nothing. All right, you want to wrestle? Yep. So then he puts us on the Friday and Saturday show.
Wow.
And we're wrestling triple threats. We're going 30 minutes, Germans off the top rope. We're just doing all our backyard stuff. We thought we were the best. And then that second match was like a Royal Rumble. A guy dived and kicked me in the face. My nose was shattered.
Oh, no.
God, yeah. So I ended up wearing a headband because headbands were cool back then to hide the shadows.
Yeah.
So my parents didn't even know I had a broken nose.
Oh my God, that's
what we do. But that was kind of how I got into wrestling. It all started when I was 13 or 14, got beat up, backyard wrestling. Oh yeah, we're pro wrestlers. A quick little assessment for 2 hours and we're on shows. So
that is insane.
So practically, besides being taught how to fall, I'm like, I trained myself. I learned on the job as I went because pretty much from those shows onwards, I started working. All right, started getting the name out of there and was self-taught.
And now at this point, you were 18 or this?
This would have been 18 as I came back.
Wow.
From the thing. So
I want to know, have you told Jeff Hardy this story? Because, I mean, you guys see each other at Smackdown.
No, I haven't told him that story. If he saw some of the backyard wrestling I did, I dressed up as him. I probably shouldn't be saying this on the microphone right now.
Of course you should.
I had the sock. Awesome. I would do this.
This is great. But have you been able to you've had conversations with him, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like my actual kick pads now are to replicate his boots because I love his boots so much.
Does he know that?
I don't think he knows that. I think I feel weird saying, "Hey man, you know what? You're everything to me." So, but if you look at my kick pads, they're exactly like he's got the straps. And so I put the straps on mine to create more of the boot look and my own style of kick pad.
Look, there is nothing wrong with you being inspired by somebody else. And, you know, when I had Zelina Vega on there, she was talking about what a fan she was of the Hardy Boys. And she has pictures of when she met them at a signing and going and not being able to even say her name. When Matt was saying hi to her, she couldn't say anything.
It's insane.
She was able to tell him that, though. And when I interviewed him, I said, how does it feel to know that you've touched so many people's lives, but now you actually are working with some of them, like Zelina Vega? And he goes, it means everything to me. He's like, it's amazing.
It's insane when you look at it like that. Like my brother said it, because when I wrestled Super Showdown for the Cruiserweight title against Cedric, like I was on the same card as The Undertaker and Triple H. Like, these are guys that I watched, you know, like in Buried Alive matches. So these are the guys that, you know what I mean? I'd just like watch on YouTube or whatever I could of their workout videos to inspire me to work out. Like, these guys have just inspired me like my entire life. And now I'm on the same card as like, I'm a peer, you know, I'm next to them. Like, it's crazy. Like this, you know, it's kind of like, I'm kind of like reminiscing in it now. I'm like, oh, geez, you know, it's good.
But it's actually good to do this because that's when you actually get to appreciate it and remember why you even started this.
Absolutely.
Because the struggle can get so real along the way, and we'll talk about that sometimes it's you sit in the struggle so much that, again, it kind of gets clouded and you forget these little moments of, I was backyard wrestling. Like, this was awesome. And this one inspired me so much, Jeff Hardy and Matt, and here I am working with them. And this is insane. And how did I get here? Right. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it.
And like I watched AJ Styles. I watched from when he was in the Independents until, you know, he went to TNA, and I'd watch all, cause, you know, he was like, did a lot of cruiserweight stuff. And I love that style. Like the Ultimate X matches that they used to have in that other company. And, you know, then I'm at SmackDown and we're rolling around coming up with ideas like, hey, what if I springboard? Do you think you could springboard and hit me your elbow out of midair? Like, you know, we're throwing ideas like, it's insane. You know what I mean?
Like, inside,
I'm watching this guy going, oh God, this is awesome. You know, watched him grow, like, and Daniel Bryan as well. Like, I was watching them, and I remember I met them when they came to Australia on this international assault tour. And I remember watching, and they would just go off in the corner and just start squatting by themselves. You know, and I was like, oh, what are they doing? Like, they're just squatting, and like, that were these big stars in my head. And now I'm just talking, and with me and Daniel are talking about, you know, saving the world, what he does and stuff like that. And asking all these questions, like, what do you eat? Like, you know, on the road, you know, you're vegan, like, have all these questions and stuff like that. But like, you know, we're just kind of having these conversations, and I'm learning from them in a completely different way than, you know, when I was, you know, watching them and I was learning them wrestling. Now I'm learning them as people and what they believe in. And I'm more interested in that as I've got older.
That's exactly why this show to me is so important, because I want people to get to know you guys as people, because that's what I love. And then when I watch you, like after this interview, I'm going to be obviously closer to you than I ever have been, because I'm getting to know you and your story, which is fascinating already. Then when I watch you wrestle, it's like I want to pull for you even more, because I know about your journey and everything that you've gone through. And knowing also, it's kind of like, it's so cool knowing that you're such a fan of the product and the people and all of that. And then that you're actually getting to live your dream of being there and starting from the mattress wrestling. That's the beauty of it all. It really is. Yeah.
And like, it kind of leads into like my whole story. Like, the struggle is real. And, you know, like my struggle, like, you know, I finally get signed. I think it's all this great stuff. I'm in NXT. I'm an NXT tag team champion. Yep. Then we lose the championships, and then we just disappear. And there's just, well, what about this? What about this? And it's just nothing. And I can't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And then, you know what I mean? Then it just gets so negative. And, you know, I hated wrestling. I despised wrestling. And then, I ended up having, I was on a loop, an NXT loop with Aleister Black for 2 nights, and then one with another guy called Brendan Williams. And I hated wrestling at this point. I was just like, you know? Yeah. And I was like, well, it's the last loop of the year. We're about to go on this we get the 2 weeks off for Christmas. I said, I'm going out there and I'm just going to kill it every night. Just put it all out there. I had 3 of my favorite matches I've ever had, and I love wrestling again. Wow. And then that pushed me. And then 205 opportunity came. So now I've got an opportunity at 205. These people aren't going to miss me again. Like I'm not going to get hidden again. Like this whole thing, like every time I go out there, I leave it all out there, no matter what, whether there's 50 people out there or 70,000 people out there. I feel like I'm putting 110% quality up front. And that's just like how I've been going, you know, because I don't want to be that lost and I want to keep moving forward and stuff like that. But, you know, the struggles are real, and those struggles in NXT and, you know, and then the struggles of moving, you know, leaving everyone, my whole family behind. I moved my whole life. I came over to America with one suitcase, And, I'd never really lived by myself. Like, I had a housemaid or whatever, but I literally was told that, you're going to bring you up. We're going to bring you up. And then it kept getting pushed back because the PC hadn't opened yet. And then that turned into, all right, we're flying you out on Thursday, which was 2 days away. And I was like, all right. So now I have to find a place for that, sell my car on the spot. Like, came over with a suitcase, and then got to the airport. My flight got changed. So I ended up getting in the night before, so my apartment wasn't ready. So I had to get a hotel. And I go to my apartment, get the key, sign my lease, go in the apartment. She shows me around. She leaves. I look around. It was kind of like in a movie situation. I look around and go, all right. I drop my bag, walk out, lock the door, go back to the leasing thing. You call me a cab because there was nothing in it. I didn't have any, so I had to go buy everything on the spot that day. Yeah. And that was an adventure by itself, trying to navigate around Florida, trying to find out where I could buy stuff. And, you know, I'd go on the websites and I was like, oh yeah, I can get all this from Walmart. And you can only buy that on the website on Walmart.
That doesn't help you. No. So let me ask you this. I mean, here you are, you're in a brand new place. Like you said, you have never lived away from home. And you walk in and you look around and you're like, okay. Do you remember that night, what that felt like?
Yeah. So after I finally found IKEA, I get to IKEA and they hand me a pencil and a piece of paper. And I'm like, what am I doing? They go, oh, you write the codes down on it and then you pick it up at the end. I'm like, okay. So I'm going down, looking for stuff. And I go, okay. So I go down, I go, now what? They go, now you pick it. And I'm like, am I going to be able to get this delivered today? And they're like, cut-offs in 15 minutes. You got to pick it all yourself. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do this. Because it was like a start of a weekend. So I wouldn't get it till like for 4 days after or 3 days after.
Oh, man.
So then the lady saw me just go and look all defeated. Yeah. And she was nice enough. She just started grabbing it and she ended up helping me. Ended up hopefully thinking that it was going to come that night. And, I get back to the apartment. I sleep on my suitcase, that red suitcase. I'm just sleeping on it. And I remember waking up to this noise. And they're throwing all the stuff that I just purchased on my porch. And I was like, what? So then I started doing it, ordered a pizza, just somehow passed out middle of it. And I just wake up at random times at 2 a.m., start doing it again, pass out. Wake up at 6 a.m., start doing it, just pass out. Like I was so jet lagged and all that. But it was like an eye opening, like I'm an adult now, but like I accepted that. It's like, time to man up now. Like there's no one here to help me. It's on me. So it definitely did make me grow up quicker, a lot quicker.
Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
I hope you guys are enjoying this interview, and I'm sure you are because Buddy Murphy is amazing. Gosh, I love this guy. Really love his personality, and we will get right back to the show, but I want to let you know, remember when I told you that I had something really cool to talk to you about? And that is one of our new sponsors, Care Of. Yes, remember this, takecareof.com, and remember the promo code. It's Glory50. And I'll tell you why. Because as I told you before, I am trying to really help you guys out along with myself. This is part of it too. All about wellness this year. We're going to take care of ourselves because if we don't take care of ourselves, then guess what? Everything else that we want to accomplish in this life will not even matter. We can't even do it because our temple is falling apart. So we're not going to have that happen to us. Absolutely not. So we always hear about vitamins. And sometimes you walk into a store and you're like, okay, I think I should be taking, I don't know, this, that, does my body need vitamin D? Does it need vitamin C? Does it need B12? Like, what the heck do I take? Which brand do I take? Which one's the best? Yada, yada, yada. As I said it earlier, it's confusing. It really does get overwhelming. What I like about this is the fact that they make it easy. Care of makes it completely so simple because you go online and you take a quiz. It's a 5-minute quiz. Literally, it's so fast. It's actually a lot of fun. I took the quiz and it asks you about your diet, your health goals, your lifestyle choices. It's very, very short and it gives you personal scientific backed vitamin and supplement recommendations. Voila! It is all done for you and you didn't even have to leave your home. Isn't that awesome? Because 90% of people, they fall short of the FDA recommended guidelines. As a matter of fact, I went to the doctor and he told me, he's like, you're not getting enough sun. So you need vitamin D, and vitamin D is important for your bones. So I had to take vitamin D. And that's exactly what the quiz told me. It was really cool because I actually got to test the quiz from what the doctor told me. But some of you don't even have a chance to go to the doctor, so you can just take the quiz. All right, so take the quiz online. TakeCareOf.com. Take the quiz. It's very, very simple. And then the vitamins get delivered to your door. And every month, the vitamins come to your door. It's a personalized Care of subscription box. It is great for busy on-the-go lifestyle. And you know what I love about this company? I love companies that give back. This company is giving a portion of every sale. It's going to go to Good Plus Foundation. What is Good Plus Foundation? They provide expectant mothers in need with valuable prenatal vitamins. That's perfect. So it helps out. So every time you buy a vitamin, now you're also going to be helping somebody else. And don't forget the Glory 50. What does that mean? Man, this is pretty awesome. This month, right now, you're going to get not 10, 20, 30, 40, but 50% off. 50% off. You have absolutely nothing to lose. So make sure you take advantage of this now because you're going to gain a lot. Your skin will glow. You'll have energy levels going through the roof. You're going to get better sleep. It's generally good health. That is what we're focused on. One more time, takecareof.com and then make sure you use the promo code GLORY50. Glory 50. All right, now back to the show.
What's up, guys? Phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're listening to Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
And how old were you when this happened?
24.
Okay.
24, yeah.
All right, and then you were.
I wasn't young, but I wasn't,
Yeah, no. I mean, that's young enough, especially. It is.
When you get to 30, you're like, oh, 24, you baby.
True. But I will say for somebody living at home that much or that long, this is actually a really good thing that happened to you. Because
absolutely.
I'm sure now you look back and you go, if I wouldn't have taken that opportunity to come to the US, and even if it meant that I had to change everything and get out of my own comfort zone and live on my own, I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
Absolutely. And I did that when to even get the original tryout. So I had a job, and Bill DeMont at the time was the trainer at the Performance Center of FCW at the time. And he put out a tweet saying, open tryout, apply here. Mm-hmm. So I saw that. I think one of my friends texted me and go, I go, this is it. I have to do it because I couldn't hold a job because wrestling was my number one focus. There was no full-time job because I needed Thursday and Friday possibly off, and Saturdays. So no job's going to hire a guy that doesn't really have much experience that goes, oh yeah, by the way, I fake fight on the weekends and, I can't work a full week. Well, it's a full-time role. Yeah, but this is what I want to do. So we're not going to hire you. Right. So it was hard to lock down work. So I was going off jobs, and then I finally got one with my stepdad who helped me out when he was doing construction. So I was kind of like his little side lackey helping him doing some laboring and stuff like that. So it was like construction.
That's great that he supported you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, I just needed something. And then, so I started to get some money, and cause I never had money. Like, to me, being rich was having $100 in my account. Like, I was so used to it. And if it would drop under 100, I might stress for a little bit, like, but wrestling was number one. Wrestling was what made me happy. So if I was going to South Australia or whatnot, if I had $100 in my account, I was like, oh, that will get me through. That will give me that will get me to South Australia. That will get me gas money and whatnot. And then once I get paid, that's $50. So that's on top of it. So I'll be okay. I'll still have 100. But once it kind of dropped under 100, I'd kind of be like, yeah, all right. But then I'm still paying phone bills and whatnot. So
yeah.
But if I had more than $100, like, I thought I was rich. You know what I mean? So when I was actually working in that construction, I actually made some money. Like, once that tweet was sent to me, I've gone, I have to do this. Mm-hmm. So I went straight up, and I was only working for him for maybe 2 months. And I said, hey, this opportunity's come up in America. I think I need to take it. I said, if you have to fire me, I understand, but I have to take this. So he spoke to his boss, and they agreed that I could take 2 weeks off or whatever for it.
Yeah.
So I paid $3,500 of my own money to even be in the tryout.
Wow.
Spent $3,000 on my flights to get there.
Oh my God.
And then I did 4 days of hell. There was 85 people at this one tryout in the little FCW facility in Tampa. There was 4 rings. And to this day, Robbie Brookside, who's one of the trainers at the NXT, the PC, he says to this day that it was the hardest tryout he's ever been a part of. So
really,
85 guys, 4 days of hell. And at the end of it, I just remember it was 3 days of hell, and then promos with Dusty, which was awesome. And then we all sat down, and they announced there was, guys, you did great. And they announced, so the winner of the contract is Matt Adams. And I just stood there and went, what? And my mate who came with me is hitting me. He goes, that's you. And I'm like, and then everyone else was like looking at me, just not doing anything. I'm like, thank you. Like, and then they all kind of turn back to Bill, who's next? And he goes, that's it. And then everyone just goes,
no,
mad at me. Like,
are you kidding me? They only picked you?
That's it? They only picked me.
Out of 85 people.
85 people.
Oh my God.
So guys that were in that tryout ended up getting contracts, but the guy that, like, I was the select one.
Wow.
So
do you remember who else was with you that later on got a contract that's with the company now?
Now?
Or that was with the company?
Sammy Callahan, who's Solomon Crow.
Oh, yeah.
He's left. Simon Gotch, he was at the tryout. Who else? I think there was like 1 or 2 more. But yeah.
I can't imagine, because here you're so excited, but now no one else has made it. So it's not like you can be like, yay, high-fiving anybody.
I had one of my best mates at the time. Yeah, but I was shocked that they even said my name. And then to this day, Norman Smiley goes, like, the only thing that got him, that me, like, because there's so many guys, everyone's a great athlete, but he said I took a shoulder tackle, and the way that I hit the mat and attacked the mat got his attention. He goes, who's that guy? And so that's why I've always prided myself in, in bumping and selling. So I like to think that's kind of like my niche. So
no, you definitely carved out. When I watch you, I'm very selective as to who, I want to get everybody on the show, but I'm very selective on timing. For example, Mustafa Ali, I saw him and I was like, there's something about him. And I see him backstage and I was like, I really would like to get your story. And it just so happened, he's like, let's absolutely do it. I'm actually debuting tonight with Daniel Bryan, so let's do it afterwards. I'm like, perfect. We did it afterwards. And then sure enough, the next very week, he got announced that he was going to be full-time on Smackdown. So the timing of it was awesome. I've been watching you, and as I see you in the ring, I'm like, there is something so special about you, buddy. There is. You really do stand out as a superstar. And it's the way you move now, even the way you talk, getting to know you more. I can tell you're one of those people in interviews and one-on-ones that you will charm people with your personality, which is so important in this business. People think it's just athleticism. It's not. You got to have the whole package. You got to be dependable. You got to be, just the whole thing. And so when I was thinking about this, I'm like, 205 Live, there's something about it that's really come to life. And you're a Cruiserweight champion. You're getting ready to go to Royal Rumble now and have a fatal 4-way. Who knows what's going to happen? But let me just see. I'm going to give you my 2 cents.
I'll take it.
And you may know, you may not know. You don't know where they're going, where they're not. And a lot of times you guys don't get told it till the very last minute. But the way I see this mapping out, kind of, I have a feeling you're going to drop the belt. And the reason why is because I feel like you're going to be going to Raw or SmackDown sometime soon. I don't know why, like full time, I just have this feeling about it. And nothing against 205 Live, because it's amazing. But I also know that you dropped 25 pounds for this opportunity.
Yeah, I did.
Holy moly. You got to talk to me about that because I'm so glad that you took the opportunity. Some other people might go, no, that's not what I see for myself. And I've known from even the way I got into this business, that was a complete fluke. But I seized the opportunity. I was like, oh, let me go check it out. You've checked out 205 Live. You're making a name for yourself in that big time. How was it when they first told you and then when they said, oh, yeah, and you got to drop 25 pounds? And how the heck did you do it?
So that's a funny story in itself. So I love cruiserweight wrestling. I was about 235 pounds at one point. So when I first got to NXT, it's, this is a land of the giants. You got to be big. You got to be big. So, and like, I knew that I had a lot of holes in my game. It's like you said, it's not just how athletic you are. It's how you talk. It's how you present yourself. It's your look. It's your brand.
Yep.
So it's all that. I had the wrestling. I couldn't talk. Like I'll admit that.
Like a promo you're talking about.
Yeah. But even like I was still like, even when I first come into NXT, I was still mummy's boy. Like I kept to myself. I kept quiet. And I was like that on the independents in Australia too. Like I was confident when it came to the wrestling, but I didn't associate myself with a lot of people. I'd kind of go there and it was work to me. I would go there because I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to kill it. And then I'm going to go. I'm not going to like go and socialize just, for the hell of it. Like this was a job to me and I'm going to make the best out of it. And that was going back to the indies. And people took that the wrong way. Like I was arrogant or whatever. No, I'm just to myself. Like in me, I got a goal in my head that I need to hit. So me going out, eating, McDonald's or going drinking, that doesn't help me get to my goal. And I know, and I've sacrificed so much. Like wrestling's such a passion. I couldn't hold a job. Like, you know what I mean? And the money that I just made, like, I made $100. I'm not going to go out and just waste that.
Right.
I mean, I'm a very, I enjoy my alone time. Like, like to this day, like when I get home, like I come up into my little loft, my little man cave. Yeah. And I watch movies and play Fortnite. Like, the
There's
Cruiserweight.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins talks about that. He likes his alone time too.
I need it. Like I just watch movies and play video games and eat food. Like that's me. But when it comes to wrestling's work, like I've got a passion, like I love for it, but it's a work. I got a job. It's a goal. So it's I got to work towards it. So that went back to the indies and I rubbed people the wrong way just because I just wouldn't hang out with them and I'll do my own thing. So that was the same when I got to NXT. I was a shy guy. I didn't want to talk to everyone. Hey guys, like I didn't want to interrupt people. I didn't want to be that guy that, interrupts in mid conversation. So I just kind of, walked the side of the wall. Yeah. And then that kind of led into, the same kind of stuff. They don't know how to take me in the Australian humor. So you kind of, you're going to rub people the wrong way no matter what, depending if you're the nicest person. Sometimes you're too nice and they look, so there's no winning. So, and that was one of those things that I realized is like, I have to be me no matter what, and take it or leave it. And I'm more comfortable with me now to do that, where I wasn't when I first got there. But I knew I had flaws in my game. And then Dusty decided to put me and Blake together. He goes, oh, you guys look alike, do a promo. So we just started doing some stuff. And I look back at those promos, I'm like, oh, they're awful. Like, what were we thinking? And then there was the whole, when we kind of pitched the idea, they liked this because we brought back the matching gear kind of thing. So that was like, that's awesome. We showed that we were a tag team, and we were told not to invest in ourselves. They're like, guys, this is just to get you reps. Don't get gear. Don't do any of this. And we're like, okay. As soon as we walked out of that office, we're like, we're getting gear.
Oh, wow.
Then we had gear, and it was weird. It was red and leopard. So and Blake had it, and then we'd do some dark matches, but just us walking around Full Sail doing dark matches. We got matching gear. We've told everyone we're invested in this. Let's do something with it. So we ended up doing some of that, and then we were trying stuff. We got more comfortable. We became a good tag team. We learned so much. Like our tag team wrestling skills, all Revival. They taught us. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, they taught us tag team wrestling.
Wow.
And like amazing.
That's beautiful that they were so giving.
Yeah, like it was just like we would have these matches with them and we were just like, they would just kind of do it, and we just kind of learned so much. And then we would take that with newer guys like Enzo and Cass, and then we would do that with them, and then Jordan and Gable at the time, and then it just became this tag team. Like tag team was good. And then all of a sudden we just get pulled aside and like, hey guys, tonight you're going over the Vaudevillains. It was our first victory ever.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, yes, yep. And then you'll be on episode 3 and you win the titles. We're like, what? We're getting our first win on episode 1. Episode 3 win the titles. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did that. We got those titles. I'll admit it. We had those titles way too early. But it was like that thing, like coming over to America, it made us grow. Oh, we have to, it's like getting an extra big pair of pants or something. I'm going to fit into them, I'll grow into them. So we have to grow into the titles. But we weren't really given much chance to speak, to try and get our stuff over, or learn how to speak and find ourselves with promos and stuff. We're just good tag team wrestlers that look like it.
Yeah.
Really.
I was just going to say Alexa Bliss got put into that speaking position for you.
Absolutely. And that was another thing because we originally pitched it was Bam, like the old lady. Ryan Katz, one of the helps with creations in NXT. He was like Bam, like the old Batman, like when he hits, wham, this Bam, like Blake and Murphy, Bam. And I'm like, it's kind of cartoony. We're going more of this Tron vibe, like electronic masks and stuff like this. So then we had this idea. I said, well, what if it's like we put like it's Blake and Murphy, the Bam. What if the A is Alexa? And we just pitched that. Oh, they're probably not going to go with it, but if we pitch the full thing, they can always dial it back, and that's So we ended up pitching that, and they said no to it or whatever like that, and then we ended up doing the tag team stuff. And then they added her into it. I'm like, cool, it turned her, it gave her something to do, the blue glitter kissing. Yeah. Princess. So, and who would have thought that character that she was originally would have become this character that it is now, where
unbelievable.
She just looks at you and you just go, oh, she does that to me now. She looks like, I'll just say something. She'll look at me and I'm like, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You win.
It's so funny because I just interviewed her at Comic-Con. And she was talking about, when she got that opportunity and she got to speak and be with you and all. But she did say, now, were you guys already dating when she joined?
Yeah.
Bam?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bam.
Okay. So that's cool. But she was also saying how hard it was for her. She felt like the fact that she got called up to Smackdown was the reason that you guys eventually got disbanded. And she feels very... still to this day, she said, I just feel like that was part of that. I had something to do with that. And she feels bad because she got called up. Now, here you are, you're at 205 Live, so you are on the road. And now Blake is still down there.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, but it's funny how it all happens. It's all like it's not a line where you take your number and you wait till your number. It's you kind of have to figure out your way through the maze in a way. Like, and I've told him this. I've told several people this is kind of like my little formula to it. But like going back to the tag team, like, we had something really good with the three of us, and then she left, and then me and Blake lost the titles, and then from there we just became those guys that make everyone else look really good. You know, you need to make someone like Blake and Murphy, like don't worry, they'll take care of them. And then we became like those job guys, which is a great position. Like Billy Gunn used to always say to us, he goes, you know. Billy Gunn would say he's been a job guy his entire career, but his career's been longer than most. You know what I mean?
You know what? You don't even see him as being a job guy. He was just very, very entertaining. And that's the thing. You guys can still be entertaining. I think the mistake is to see it as somebody either winning or jobbing.
Exactly. My whole theory was go down with the blaze of glory. If you're going down,
but that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't have seen it going down because you were still on the show.
Yeah, but it was just kind of like we knew our role and we accepted it. Like, oh yeah, but this will eventually turn around. We're just on the back burner now, And then we did a split. And the funny thing with the split was we kind of were handed that we were breaking up. And we're like, hey, are we breaking up? And no, we're getting rid of Lex, and then we'll figure out that. I'm like, okay. And then our producer at the time comes up and goes, well, this is it, boys. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's right. You go, this is it. You're done. I go, no, we were told that we're not breaking up. He goes, you seen what you're doing? I said, yeah, but he said that we're going to come back. He's like,
no.
Then we went back to him like, hey, dude, is this it? Like, he's like, oh, I go, we don't know how to react here. Oh, well, yeah, you are. All right, so now we have to react completely different because we thought like this was just to get rid of her, but it was a three-way disband.
Yeah. Did they say why?
No.
I mean, I understand Alexa being called up. I get that.
They never gave us a reason why.
No. But, I actually heard in another interview that you did, you said something about how you guys got a little cocky. And you learned a lot from that. Is that true?
No, I think that was more just the we're cocky with the tag belts, more in story than anything else. But yeah, like we were just put our best foot forward. But and like I said, like Lex, in a way, like I don't want to say we're holding her down, but like look what she's doing now. Like we helped her get there, but I'm glad she didn't stay with us because like then we would have like you can't like her talent would have gone through it anyway. But like like everything happens for a reason. So
absolutely,
she's killing it. Like I got so much of her merch.
I bet you do. You know what? Let's talk about this because being in this business is already tough enough. And then being in a business with someone else and it's the only time you really get to see them, right? Is when you're in this business, you get to have a relationship. But at the same time, having a relationship in this business is also tough because sometimes you're not on the same show. So you're not seeing each other a lot at all. And that's definitely going to affect your relationship. Yeah. Because when she went to Smackdown, she was saying how, okay, you're at NXT and now you're seeing each other maybe twice a week. And then all of a sudden you go to 205 Live. Now you're seeing each other once a month.
Yeah. Complete opposite schedules.
That's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's hard for if I think relationships are hard if you see someone 5-7 days a week, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you just kind of, it's one of those things where you just kind of, to me, they're the cards we've been dealt for now. I look at it, well, it's only for now. So I can look at it like that. But, I support her 110%. Like I watch her stuff like, I send her my promos. Like she's like I go, what did you think of this? Like I go to her, like she's the one that helped me able to speak. She's the one that, she's taught me heaps. Like I try and help her in the ring. She tries to help me with character stuff. And there was times that in NXT when I hated wrestling, she would try and tell me stuff, and I didn't want to hear a bar of it. I know
you
better.
weren't in the mindset of it.
No, because I kind of, checked out, especially after that thing with me and Blake. We kind of, that ended and would kind of come back sporadically. Like we're broken up. Oh, you need a tag team? Then we'll be back together. And then we disappeared again. And then we just found ourselves not on TV. We didn't know why. Like we were trying so hard just to get back on. Like I was pitching ideas, characters. I got this face paint character.
Yeah. What happened to that one?
I don't know. I did it. I said, hey, can I do this thing? It's a two-face character kind of thing. Completely different because like our last character were these cocky guys that, had the championships and nothing else mattered. But this one's like more like serious and dark. And they liked it. And then they're like, oh, that's cool. Should I keep doing it? No, not this week. Don't do it this week. And then it just never kind of came back.
I wonder if it was a little bit too similar to Jeff, maybe.
At that point, Jeff wasn't with the company, so it wasn't even. Yeah,
okay.
like
so that. Yeah, all right.
So
who knows?
It was.
But you know what? I'm actually glad because I love that you're just real, like what you have right now. I don't think that you need.
Yeah, and it all kind of came. What I am now is just a turned up version of what I really am. And that's what we always say, that's the best characters is who you really are, just amped up.
Stone Cold Steve Austin says it all the time. Like all of a sudden he just said, you know what, this is who I am. Yeah. I'm, somebody, a country guy or whatever that actually loves to drink beer and that it works. And The Rock, that's who he is. So it's just turned up. Exactly. And that's what I kind of had to figure out. I had to figure out how to bring that out of me and take that. And it all happened like I said, when I wasn't doing anything on TV, I hated wrestling. Lex would be like, oh, maybe change your look. No, it's not my look. They don't want me to change my look. Like, because like they didn't. Like I would say, hey, can I cut my hair? No, I like your hair wet. I'm not doing anything. So what I mean? Like, what did you learn from that? Oh, go ahead.
And then I asked for 205 and they're like, nah. You're not going to 205. So it's no.
Oh, so you did ask for it.
I asked for 205 like a year before it happened.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You were telling me about that story actually.
Yeah. And they
how you got into that.
Yeah. They just said no. They're like, nah, there's no spots there. And I was like, okay, like try it. And then I'll try it again. I had this whole idea and I remember watching a takeover, and I remember watching it and I got so mad watching it because I think it was a year after we lost the titles and it was at the Barclays Center for TakeOver. And I remember watching it and I just got so mad. I turned the TV off. I'm like, why aren't I on that? I was on it last year. I was a tag team champion. Like now I can't do anything. Like nothing's good enough. What's changed? So I ended up like getting a piece of paper and I'm like, all right, so what's good? Like, and then like, what are people into? Like everyone's doing this, everyone's going 10, 10, 10. So I started looking at that. I said, okay, so I need like the perfect 10 or, the charismatic enigma. They have nicknames. They don't have gimmicks. They have nicknames, cool nicknames. Well, what am I? All I do is get told is that how good I am. Oh man, you're so good. Like the way you move is just so clean. Then why aren't I doing it? I'm kept here. I'm a secret. No one knows what I can do outside of this performance center. So I'm like, I'm a secret. Well, I'm the best kept secret. Okay. So I was like, well, there's my cool nickname.
Yeah.
Well, yes is over. 10's over. Well, now I need, what can I do that the crowd can do to me? What's the crowd interaction? I was like, well, everyone can do this first.
Right.
Like, I was like, okay, well, like, so if I can get everyone to do that, what's the crowd? How can I get them more involved? And I was like, well, I could be, it's pretty rude if I'm getting interviewed and they're asking me a question. And as they're asking me the question, I'm like, shh, I just shush them. Like, that's pretty rude. And then eventually, if I can get that over more, hopefully when I try and talk, they shush me and they don't let me say it. That's a new what? It's the new, you know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe I'm onto this. Or if I can get it over more as a good guy, maybe like if like someone out there's kind of promoing the people and they're booing them and then they're like, hey, you, and I just start shh, and it's like, what the hell? And then I start shushing them and then they all start shushing him. Like, you know,
Right.
got that crowd interaction. But I said, but I'm not calling myself the best in the world. We've had that.
Right.
All I'm saying is I have potential.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that out, but calling yourself the best kept secret is a die on your own sword. If you're saying that, you know, I'm good, you just don't know it yet and you don't deliver,
Yeah.
you've killed. So, and it was all a setup between you and me and everyone that listens now. The whole best kept secret was a thing for me to do on the indies.
Oh.
I was ready. I thought that my time was up. Like I couldn't think of anything. Like I felt I hated wrestling. I was like, well, I can go back to Australia or I could do something here. You know what I mean? I've got the rub a little bit. So that whole thing was, and I said, I put the logo on my pants. Cause then I've like, all right, if I have that on my pants and if I go somewhere, like I have at least have a photo with me in WWE wearing that logo and that will work for merch later on. Like I was thinking, all these things, like, you know, like if it doesn't work out, like I need something to fall into, and like the best kept secret. Well, I was told they just didn't use me. You know,
Right.
that's
Right.
their fault.
Right.
And then I kept pitching that 205. I was like, yeah, like 205. No. So then I had nothing to do. Like I'd do shows on the weekend, go to the performance center, but like Lex was on the road. So I'm just like, what am I going to, so I just looked into stuff to do to myself, keep me occupied. All right, I'm going to start dieting. I'm going to start working out more. So I started to lose weight and I started to see some results and I started to drop some weight. Then I pitched 205 again. No. All right. Like, so I was doing all this stuff. And then there was they announced the classic, the tournament for the title after it got vacated. And the winners were going to face each other at WrestleMania. My apologies. And I ended up messaging Adam Pearce, who's one of the producers for 205. And I was like, hey, Adam, saw that there's this tournament. Not sure if it's fully booked yet, but if it isn't, I'd like to put my name in the hat, or who do I have to talk to do this? You know, and he responded, he goes, it's already booked, but you'd have to talk to Triple H or someone else. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I haven't spoken to Triple H about 205, but I've mentioned it several times where, you know, it just wouldn't, like it was like pulling teeth. Like it was like a waste of time even mentioning it. And then I don't know this, but I assume that maybe Adam had eventually said, well, what about Buddy Murphy? He's sitting there. And he ain't 205. He goes, no, he's close. And then all of a sudden they're like, how much do you weigh? And I went 205. I said 208 or something. And they're like, come in on Tuesday. I need to weigh you. So I just went in and I was like, oh, mate, it's 205. I guess get to 204. So then I come in and I like didn't drink any water. I sat in the sauna, got down, I weighed myself. I was 204.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, all right. He took a photo of me, and then I think he sent it to Triple H.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm just doing live events. I'm sitting at the house. I get a phone call from Ryan Katz. He goes, what time can you come in tomorrow? I said, what are you talking about? What time can you come in tomorrow? For what? He goes, you don't know? And I'm like, no. He goes, we need to film vignettes. You're debuting on Tuesday. I'm like, what? So then the next day, I went down to the PC, filmed for like 4 hours, and debuted that Tuesday on 205. And it was just an insert into the tournament, which I got through the first round, and then I lost to Ali in the second. But they wanted to keep me strong. So I assumed that I impressed, and, you know, so at that point I was so checked out in a way. I hated wrestling, like I said. So once I didn't see light at the end of the tunnel, and I didn't know my way out, because my way out was the tag team. Like all I see, like Buddy Murphy as a singles, like what makes me any different? Like I'm 5'10", you know what I mean? I'm not 6'3". I'm not a model. Like what makes me stand out more than the guy or the other 50 guys behind me? Nothing. So the tag team was my way out in my head. And then once that didn't happen, I was like, well, I'm a single guy. Like, you know, I'm a singles wrestler with 60 other singles wrestlers, and I'm shorter than most. So how do I do that? So then I was like, what's my way there? So then the 205 kind of made it I cut down the weight to myself to just like, well, I need something to do. I got it down. Then someone saw a photo, or someone said, and then they saw a photo. Okay, use me.
Yeah.
And then,
do you realize the best thing that ever happened to you was the fact that you were shelved?
Yeah.
Let's say that word. You know what I mean? Because had you not been taken off TV, had you not been sitting there, had you not been getting frustrated, you would not have taken it upon yourself to start, let me diet, let me do this, let's see what a catchphrase could be. Let's see what I can make the crowd do. You would not
have been content
doing any of this. Absolutely.
I would have just been content. I'm happy where I'm at. Like, you know, but it's when it gets taken away from you, you're just kind of like, why am I doing that? What makes them? So, you know, like I'm grateful for it. Like I said, like, I'm not bitter at all. I'm grateful, but I think that my cards were bad. You know what I mean? I had some bad cards in the deck, if that makes sense. Like, it's not a negative thing. I just think that it's all a positive thing because of where I've got to now. You know, I've gone from, you know, not being used on TV for a year and a half, you know, to wrestling in my hometown of Melbourne to win the Cruiserweight Champion.
How did that feel?
Undescribable. Like, it's, you know, like, and every time I got that photo, like on my phone, I got it everywhere. It's me holding the title and everyone standing up behind me. And it just kind of, it's like one of those things, like it's one of those moments to me where like, it was one of those times where 70,000 people, it didn't matter who was next to them. They all celebrated. Mm-hmm. There was no anger in that entire 70,000 people. Like, no one hated each other. Like, if your worst enemy was there, they'd probably hugging at the end of it. Like, it was so like
everybody won.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, we all kind of, and like, that's what Australia's like. So if you're a hometown boy, we're 100% with you. But it was just, it's cool to see that the world can still be like that.
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
the way it is. Like, people can just, you know, stand up with the guy next to them. They have no idea and hug him, and you know what I mean. That's what I kind of take from it, and like, it's more special to me that I was able to bring that out of them.
Yeah.
But what makes it even better is that WWE, you know, gave me the stage to do that. And I got to work with someone like Cedric, you know, who is a workhorse. Everyone on 205 is a workhorse. So it makes my job so much easier when I have guys that want to kill it with me. Like, my whole job, like, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to have the best match no matter what.
Yeah.
You guys want to do it too? Let's go, guys. Like,
well, that's the thing that I'm seeing, that 205's got a special thing going on there. It's just got so much talent, but everybody's really, they loving wrestling. And I think in the end, even when you said you hated wrestling, I think you were saying, what I feel is that you actually hated the politics of it. But then you took it upon yourself. I did pick up that one part when you said, I decided that I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to kill it. And I'm just going to be the best that I can be. Do you know how? That's the thing. A lot of people will just blame the world. And guess what? Life is not easy. It's not going to be handed to you. Life sometimes will throw you curveballs, and sometimes it's not going to be fair. We're not here because it's all fair. It's not. But it's how you get through those times that things are not stacked in your corner that really does define who you are in the end. And this was the biggest blessing, because I'm sorry you had to go through that, but at the same time, I'm glad you had to go through that.
That's exactly the way I look at it. It's like, you know, it sucked at the time, but what if it didn't happen that way?
Right. We wouldn't have the best kept secret.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have, I have that drive now. Like, and I think when I say like, I hated wrestling, I think I wasn't enjoying I was going through emotion. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to work this guy. All right. But I'm working the same guy and I felt a little handcuffed because I would be working guys that are, haven't been wrestling for very long and are 7 foot tall. So what am I at 5'10"? I can't pick them up. Mm-hmm. They can't run these cruiserweighty spots with me. So it was kind of like, I felt like I was getting held back. It's like, all right, well, and then I had to protect myself too. As you know, you get hurt.
Yeah.
That's a little flag against yourself. So,
right.
So I had to be careful what I did with them. And it just became very, we'll keep it simple. We'll tell a great story. The people will still enjoy it, but I wasn't enjoying it. To me, it was just emotion. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, was those matches with Aleister Black where I was just like, let's go and kill it. He was all up for it. He was I'm good mates with him. And he was like, yeah, let's go out. And he in a way made me, and then he kind of gave me the stamp of approval on his Twitter. And the people were like, oh, I want to see this match. And then now, to think a year later, people are interested in who I'm ever, if I'm going to wrestle a broom, people are like, oh, this, what's he going to do? It's going to be
right.
So, I think that I've lived up to the best kept secret.
Yes, you have.
So
you definitely have, but you got so much more to go. First of all, what was your reaction when Mustafa got called over to SmackDown?
Man, it was awesome. He's one of the most unselfish, easy to work with, nice guys that I've probably met in my entire 30 years on this planet. So, he's a sweet dude. And he loves his family and stuff. That's a quality, there's a good person and there's a good man when all they do is talk about how much they love their family. I think that's just a good quality. So, and working with him, we're very similar. Yeah, we'll do that. You want to try this? Yeah, let's do that. We're very similar. And when he got called up, I'm very happy for him, and I hope he continues to kill it. And I'm for certain that he will. So definitely
very
good for him.
And it's funny because somebody actually shared this with me, and I thought the same thing. I was like, this is actually a perfect way to put it. Not really being called up. I think it was Drew McIntyre when I interviewed him. He was saying it's really being called over. It's just to another brand. Yeah,
and I agree. That's the thing. NXT, we're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think the NXT or 205 is not any less. It's just a different brand that Raw or SmackDown. Yeah. Do you want to be called over to Raw or SmackDown?
I think that NXT and 205 are a little bit different because it's the travel. I think called up means you're getting called up to you're not sleeping in your bed every night. And that's the hardest part. With 205, we travel with Raw and SmackDown. I just got off a Raw loop, went to Raw and then went to SmackDown. So I'm doing what they do. So we're doing the Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, you're really pretty much on the road already. But I'm saying, do you want to be on Raw or SmackDown brand or do not yet? Or are you ready for it if they call, or have you thought about it?
I think I'm ready for it. I think that it would be bittersweet because 205 gave me the opportunity, and I feel like the guys in 205 are just the best guys. So we all have the same work ethic and we want to create the best brand, and that's our baby. We're trying to create this. We're trying to create the buzz ourselves. It's
working.
We feel like we're the stepchild and we're trying to, hey, we're over here too, but we're trying to do it ourselves. Jack Gallagher's making 205 life. And it's just inside the life of a 205 guy. It's just a little small clip, but it's just giving you awesome. like these, just a little insight to get you to know us so you can be more invested in us for when we go and perform. But I think Mustafa Ali said it on your podcast last time we've just gone back to after SmackDown, but we're the beginning act going on after the main event. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
we're in that kind of sucky position, but it's not going to change the way we look. It's not going to change the way we perform or anything like that. So, but it would be bittersweet to leave it because they gave me that opportunity. Yeah,
but I have to say, buddy, I would love to see matches though with you and Jeff Hardy and you and AJ Styles. I thought about it the other night when I was watching you in your last match. Oh my gosh, who would I now I can't remember. I said specifically, I was like, these two would have such an incredible match. But yeah, there's just so many people that I would love to see you go against. And unfortunately, you have to be out of 205 in order for that to happen, or maybe not because Mustafa had a match and then he went back. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I have to, again, it just wish you so much luck. Keep doing what you're doing because you're going the right way. You are. And what would you say was the biggest lesson from that struggle that you did learn?
It sounds cliche. It's like,
and it's okay to be cliche.
Yeah. It's like John said, like never give up. You know what I mean? Like it's
even when you wanted to quit. Don't do it.
Like, sucky situations open new doors too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, everything happens for a reason. And if you want something bad enough, you'll get it.
Right.
You know? And if it didn't happen this time around and something did happen and I went through another door and I did leave the company, like my goal is to be here. It's just to be here in the best position and me to offer the best me possible.
Right.
So happened to be that 205 gave me that platform and then I grew and now I understand who I am and I took those grievances and those angers and I created the character, the Buddy Murphy now that cut the weight to bully these guys because he has a chip on his shoulder because he was left in a cage for 5 years and eventually, if you leave a dog in the cage for 5 years, he's going to bite the hand that feeds it. He's just an angry guy. And then when he has what he wants, he's confident. When he loses, he's completely the opposite. He's either cocky and then as soon as if he catches a loss or something happens to him, he's mad of mad. Like there's no in between. It's
right.
So but that's taking those real life situations and just turning them up, making them mean more. And that's the fuel for the character Buddy Murphy.
Well, I think you just said it. I mean, it's one of those things that if it's meant to be, all of these things, right, they end up happening. Same thing with Alexa. I know she was saying that you guys were helping each other out and supporting each other and timing. And hopefully the timing will happen where the two of you can actually be together.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Right. But I love that you're still supporting each other and having a great relationship. I think that's beautiful. And especially if you're working together, that's hard enough already. But you have an ally, which is great. My last question to you, and I want to have you back because I can tell that we can go to stories. I love stories. This is so great. I know that the fans have probably been just reeling with this. Like, it's just so great. But has your chase for glory been what you thought it was going to be? Has it looked the way you thought it was going to look?
At the start, no. So at the start, it was I thought it was going to be, when you're doing the independents in Australia and like it always comes, the grass is always greener on the other side. And that happens no matter where you are or what position you are. It's always could be, but you always see it better. Mm-hmm. It could be this, I'm making $1 million. Well, I could be making $2 million. You know what I mean? So it's like that, but then doing something like this, and kind of, going through rewind in history and kind of seeing all the things like, I'm glad it happened that way. And, I'm happy that it came out this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you see yourself being champion of like the WWE champion or world heavyweight champion?
I believe that I have the attributes to be. I believe I can go with absolutely anyone. So,
do you want it to happen? Is that something in your vision, in your goal?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But like it's baby steps. Like I need it, like, you know, like maybe a Intercontinental Championship first, and you know,
going against Bobby Lashley already.
Yeah, maybe Seth get it back, or maybe Ziggler. You know, I see some good matchups there.
Oh, I do too. See what I mean? Like, you've got a lot of people that you can go against. It's awesome. But I love that you are also a beautiful person. I can already tell. I've already fallen in love with your personality, and this is now making me want to cheer for you more, because I didn't get to really work with you. You know, I laughed when you came in. So I had told Alexa too, and I was like, I want to interview Buddy. She's like, I think you're going to like him. I'm like, I do.
Or really hate him. One of them.
No, Aussies are awesome too. One thing than anything, it's like superstars, everybody there. And that's one thing that I've learned with this company. Everyone there is just genuinely wants to be there and just has a drive and just, I don't know, there's just something very, very special with WWE superstars. And
and like I was riding with Mojo this week, and he said,
I love Mojo.
Yeah, he's crazy. Absolutely,
I was going to say, as a matter of fact, when you said about being in the dark places and, you know, be careful what you do to somebody when you put him in the dark hole. Like, he actually posted that, because I actually did an interview with him, and he was amazing. And people actually listened to the interview and went, I didn't like Mojo before I listened to this interview, and now I'm cheering for him even more.
Very, very smart man.
Yeah, he's in a dark place. Like, when I say that, he's in that place of not being used. So I like the fact that you're writing with him.
He's just got that power and that personality to always be happy, though. And that's something that, if he lost that, then we've lost Mojo.
Yeah. You're right.
But he said one thing that, like you said about WWE, like being a WWE superstar's hard. Like, he said that he was helping a family member with his resume, and he was just going over this thing, and he goes, he asked me if I had a resume, and I'm like, no, like I don't need a resume. Like, I've never had a meaningful job, and I've been here for 6 years. Like, this is my main job. And I'm going to say pro wrestler, and he's like, no, man, like you saying WWE can manipulate. Like, what you don't really understand is what WWE has done. Like, a CEO of a major company says that he travels. Travel more than him already. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're already above CEOs in multi-billion-dollar companies. Like, they don't understand what we're going through. They think their life's tough, but we get it toughest. And I was just like, you're absolutely right. No one knows what we go through on a daily. And it kind of made the next 4 hours me just kind of thinking there, going, man, this is all a learning curve too.
Yeah.
So, Mojo is a very smart man.
Yeah. Well, buddy, I'm telling you, you're just a gem. You really are. Keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing to watch you. I can't wait to see your continued chase for glory. If people want to get, stay in touch with you on social media, how do they find you?
I think I'm on Instagram and Twitter as WWE_Murphy. So pretty simple.
I love the fact that you went, I think I am.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not really one to promote myself. So
no, that's all right.
Once it's logged in, it's logged in. So
do you post? Are you frequent on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I try to. But like I said, I'm not really one, like I do it, like post photos of me. But like I like to post photos of my animals and my pig. Like they're my children. So
I love it.
I'm more posting photos of them. But
that's hilarious.
My wrestling account, my work account. So
I'll end this with the fact that Alexa was talking about how she got the pig without telling you. And she came home with it, and you were like, really?
It's been like that with most of the animals.
But you love them.
Oh, like they're my. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's awesome. Larry the pig is just, when he's sweetheart, like you just realize you have this 75-pound pig on your couch, which you're like, oh, that's kind of strange when you say it out loud. But he's just a sweetheart. You look at him, he's smiling. He's got a good life.
Aww.
And it just kind of shows what kind of person Lex is, because she saved him.
Yeah.
She saved our other dog, Frank, as well.
But she did say you do eat bacon still.
I do turkey, but I don't eat. I eat ribs, which is probably worse than eating bacon. But I don't eat bacon.
There's no judgment. There's no judgment. It's so
I do feel guilty. I'll put it this way. Like when I eat them, I make sure he's nowhere near it, so he can't even smell it.
There we go.
At least I'm thinking.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on Chasing Glory. Really appreciate
it. Thank you so much for having me.
Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm in love. I'm in love with Buddy Murphy. And Alexa, I don't mean like in love like that, okay? Don't worry. I just mean, man, what a cool guy. Like, what an amazing human being. I can already tell, like, you know what? I can already tell he's going to be making such a huge impact. He's already making a big impact at 205 Live, but there's a lot more to come from Buddy. And I just want to thank you, Buddy, for being so open, you know, even letting us know that he's a mama's boy. How cool was that? Because I think that's important, and not to just glaze over. I think that a lot of people are out there trying to portray somebody where they're like, I'm cool, I'm hip. Yeah, what? And just this big powerhouse and whatever. And the fact that he's like, you know what? I love my mom. Like, what is wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. And how he grew up and how he was so attached to his family and how hard it was for him to actually leave the nest and go out on his own. But that's big. That's part of his story. And I love that he shared that. I love that he shared about the struggle at NXT and how low he was. And that, I think, should prove to all of you, if you're in a place right now that things are not going well, and trust me, I have been there on more than one occasion, which sucks, but it has always worked out in the end. In the end, there's always been a huge, huge silver lining. That's why I'm big on silver linings. Always look for that silver lining. And his silver lining is, man, he took it upon himself. He didn't just sit there and mope. He was like, okay, well, I'm booked on the live events. Let me just go kill it every night. Leave it all on the mat. Okay, I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to train hard. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to see what I can do with my body. Which then gave him the opportunity to be in 205 because he had to drop all that weight, 25 pounds, and he entered at 204. That's impressive. And that's somebody that wanted it. He took it upon himself also to start really thinking about the audience and what can the audience do with me and what catchphrase can I use? All of this happened because he was in the slumps. You heard it. So do that with yourself. Quit playing victim. Do not play victim. Even if you have some black cards in the deck, okay? We all have those. So even if you've dealt some cards that are not fair or that you think they're not or anything like that, don't worry about it. Move past that. Don't get stuck in that. And then see, okay, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? So, buddy, thank you again for sharing what you did. I know that you've impacted people. I am sure you've impacted a lot of people out there. Make sure you let me know, okay? Because Buddy also reads that on the Twitter, like tag us together. Make sure you share it on Instagram. Make sure you share it on Facebook, all the social media platforms. Let your comments be known on youtube.com/Lilian Garcia on his episode. And just keep letting us know on Apple Podcasts. Remember to leave your review, because then you get entered to get chosen. And then if you get chosen, then you get into the drawing, you win an 8x10, and then you win the free t-shirt. All right. So all these good things are happening with Chasing Glory. I've got so much news to share with you, but I just can't do it yet. But it is pretty impressive what's happening with Chasing Glory. And I always say it's because of you guys out there. You're spreading the word. So thank you for that and making it real, raw, inspiring around here. And I also, of course, want to thank Cured Nutrition, my sponsor for this podcast that's bringing it to you for free. And that is curednutrition.com/glory. curednutrition.com/glory with the promo code glory for your 15% off your CBD products. And also Care Of. Remember, it's takecareof.com. And then just make sure you use the promo code glory50. That's glory50 for 50% off of your vitamin supplement subscription. amazing products. So thank you to both of our sponsors. And thank you guys. Like I always said, go out there. And you know what? Remember at the beginning of the show, live your life on purpose or have a great day on purpose. Something like that. Anyway, go out there and live with much peace, love, and passion. And remember to always be yourself and trust that it's enough. Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us here on Chasing Glory from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and be sure to subscribe at Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.